50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 504. Today is Monday, March the 3rd, 2025. Thank God it is March, but it is still cold out here. E, how you doing?
Yeah, don't let the sun fool you. It was freezing today, boys. I think it's still freezing, to be honest. But we're doing good. We got a live show coming up, and we got some news buzzing. Let's just say that some news buzzing, not just a dull show. We actually got things to talk about.
Yeah, we got some things to talk about in the NFL. I mean, after the combine, news started to pick up literally right after we recorded last week. NBA. Hey, we even have MLB news as well. We got picks in the NBA, 7-game slate here on a Monday. Got 9 games for Tuesday as well. We'll see if there's any lines up that we could talk about. 27 games here for college conference tournaments have started. We're getting inch closer to the madness in March Madness. And then we got 6 games in the NHL as well. We got I got a ton of picks, and I think you have some picks as well. So we can't wait for that a little later on in the show. But any combine has come and go. Did you see my boy Will Howard? Whoever chopped that video of him was that's criminal. I mean,
I saw those 3 to 4 passes. Whoever made that,
jail.
All I'm saying is you got to be a little more positive, and realistically, I think you have better things to do. Now, is it fair to put that out there? Yes, because at the end of the day, you want the good and the bad. But at the end of the day, we saw this man win a national championship.
That's what I'm saying. He's a national champion.
All the talent aside on the team, at the end of the day, he did that. He did that. You know, do I think he could get drafted? Yeah, honestly. Is he a fucking first-round pick? No. But is he going to possibly get drafted? Yes. So, don't get me wrong. Do I like the tape that, that those few clips? No. But at the end of the day, the coaching staff that's possibly think about drafting him already saw that. They've seen enough of or they know what he is and know what he's capable of doing. Whoever made that is just trying to humiliate him. So that's why. Be a little more positive. The teams that are interested in him already know what he can and cannot do. So why,
I just don't understand the hate on the guy. He's a national champion, and, it's hard to throw to wide receivers that you don't know. Every wide receiver runs routes differently. Mm-hmm. So he's a national champion. You can't take that away from him, and his film shows it all. Yes, some of them were bad throws. Yeah. Hand up, I'll admit that. But at the end of the day,
everybody puts out bad film.
You just got no life. If you're sitting home chopping up a 2-3 minute video of Will Howard's combine, you don't really got much to do on a Saturday or Sunday.
You don't got much to do. Exactly. And all I got to say is be a little more positive. You could at least put one dime. Because I guarantee you, he threw a couple dimes.
I think the biggest loser from the combine was the wide receiver coming out of Texas, Isaiah Bond, coming out saying, I'm going to break Xavier Worthy's record. And then he did it. And then he didn't even break Matthew Golden's record, who was on Texas and ran the fastest of this year. He ran a 4.29. Isaiah Bond said he's going to run a 4.1. He ran a 4.39, which that's fast. It's fast, but you came fourth out of everyone. You should have set yourself up better. Be like, nah, I'm going to run a 4.7 or 4.6, which is still fast, but then run a 4.3,
Yeah, but the difference is you come out and say you're going to set the record, you're going to go viral. You come out and say you're going to run a 4.6, you're going to hear crickets. Nobody want to see a 4.6. People want to see the record, though. So, shout out the kid for making his name out there. That's what the combine is for. Yeah. To put your name out there. And he definitely put his name out there. And I guarantee him doing that made at least 2 GMs or scouts out there, go elbow to elbow. Was like, yo, we should go watch this guy. He might set the record.
Hilarious, though.
I guarantee at least 2 teams looked at him just because he said that bullshit. So shout
Other
out
than
him for
yeah.
drawing extra eyes and attention on him. Hey.
Yeah, other than that though, there was a guy, I forgot his name, but I think it was one of the tight ends, but he winded up not tearing, but he had the false start and then he sprained his ankle. That shit looked crazy though. But other than that, combine is over with, and then we do have some news, and it was the first domino of the offseason. We talked about him last week. LA got their quarterback back. The Rams and Matthew Stafford, they reached an agreement, restructured deal that kind of kept them that's going to keep them in Los Angeles for 2 years. It's the first domino that has fallen. You know, whether Stafford was going to return to LA or not, you know, I think his wife definitely had a say in it. She has a podcast. She came out and I listened to like snippets of it to try to see where she was coming from. She was not leaving LA. That's just and if the wife isn't leaving LA, you know, now you're really not going to leave LA. You know, I thought, to be honest, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought the Rams played the Eagles the most competitively in the playoffs. And, you know, they did start the season very shaky, but the back half of the season, McVay had the boys rolling.
Yeah, dude, that's why I told you they were alive. I was how many weeks did I come in here and say I got the Rams? Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make a playoff run. They're talented. And that's the thing. Sean McVay, been there and done that. Cooper Kupp, been there and done that. Matthew Stafford, been there and done that. So when you got guys who's been there and done, and like you said, you can make the case they were the most competitive team against the Eagles all playoff. And I can make the case they had the biggest disadvantage. They're a fucking LA team coming and playing on the snow. Yeah. These other teams these teams play in the cold weather. So we know, I understand they traded a bunch of, you know, draft picks to win that Super Bowl that year. It's a couple years behind. Aaron Donald, maybe Cooper Kupp ain't there no more. Majority of those pieces ain't there. But if you have Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, and a healthy Puka Nacua, and you make it to the playoffs, I give them a shot against anybody.
And they have a good run game now.
Yeah, have a great run game. And quietly, Dill, they secretly became at least a top 12, top 15 defense when they were just all known for just throwing the football all around the field with the high-powered Sean McVay offense. Now, Dill, defensively, they're loaded. They got a lot of young pieces. We just saw rookie defensive player of the year. Dill, they're going to have another. I think they can make a couple moves as well. Let's see if they try to bring back Cooper Kupp as well. If he goes somewhere, hey, it is what it is. But if you're able to retain Cooper Kupp and you're able to add a piece or two to the defensive side, like I said, healthy Matt Stafford, healthy Cooper Kupp, healthy Puka Nacua, I give him a shot against anybody.
Yeah, that was the first domino to fall, and it all kind of made sense. I know we talked about maybe the Giants, maybe the Raiders. You know, Tom Brady had kind of an influence. It always felt like he was going to go back to the Rams just because I don't know if Matthew Stafford, I was obviously playing devil's advocate, but it didn't feel like Matthew Stafford really wanted to be in a rebuild. The Giants, I know they pursued him aggressively, but you really want to go and rebuild in your tail half of your career? Not really, you know. And it's you're going from LA to New York. Not really attractive.
Well, I'm not going to shit on, but at the end of the day, you're going from a consistent playoff caliber team to a total rebuild situation. And it's not like you're going somewhere where we're having a conversation like, oh, the Giants are a quarterback away. Yeah. The Giants are pieces away. So to me, if you're going to go move somewhere, I'm going somewhere where I'm a quarterback away.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to stay put. And that's the first domino. Like I said, the Giants did pursue him aggressively. Now, according to Ian Rappaport, all the insiders, Adam Schefter, the Giants are investigating all veteran quarterback options, including Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he doesn't have to move after all. You know, obviously the Raiders need a quarterback. We'll see what the Steelers wind up doing, if they wind up staying with Russ or Justin. The Browns need a quarterback. We'll see what Tennessee winds up doing. You know, with Matthew Stafford he is remaining in LA. What do you think this goes for all the teams I just said? You know, Giants, Raiders, Steelers, are they going to go, maybe a veteran, or are they going to go with Sam Darnold or other guys like that? Or are they going to go through the draft?
Uh, Real quick with the Steelers, I'm gonna say they play it safe. They're gonna retain Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. Might bring both back, but I'm gonna say they we saw very high moments with Russell Wilson. And the last 5-6 game stretch wasn't pretty at all. But we saw a nice midseason form from this team with Russ at the starting. I think you bring that back. With the Raiders, I could see them going with a veteran. Can they move up and possibly get, the first, second pick? Who knows? Can they? Yeah. We'll see about that. If out of those teams, the Jets, the Giants, the Raiders, I'm a assume the Raiders go with a veteran. Pete Carroll, I'm not sure if he wants to start with a rookie quarterback, and we know he's more of a defensive guy.
Mhm.
So I think they going with a veteran. I think Brady probably wants to bring in a veteran as well, unless they're able to jump for Shador. We know the owner he's very interested in Shador Sanders, but me personally, I say Raiders go with a vet. Now with the G-men, it's interesting with the G-men because I don't rule out drafting either Cam Ward or Shador with the third overall pick, and also signing Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins or one of these veterans to mentor your young quarterback. So I don't push that idea out either. So me personally, I would say the Giants, from the Giants' perspective, I'll say sign Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins and draft either Shador Sanders or Cam Ward, whoever falls to you, because you got to set yourself up now and for the future. And I think you got to draft one of these quarterbacks just because we've seen your quarterback play recently. And you also got to reward your loyal fans after giving Philadelphia a Super Bowl by not retaining Saquon Barkley, and also by giving Daniel Jones that $160 million contract and letting him walk.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Giants, and that's what the brass and everything and all the experts, they say, they're going to sign a veteran and also maybe draft one as well.
Mhm.
It
That
seems like,
makes the most sense.
yeah.
Build something right now, possibly, 9, 8 wins, who knows, depending on what the quarterback could do with the offense. And then you let Shador or Cam, take off next year or 2 years from now. Look how successful he has been for the Green Bay Packers, letting Aaron Rodgers sit back for a couple years. Look at Jordan Love sitting back a couple years. So I wouldn't mind if the Giants sign one of these veterans and then Shador or Cam sits a year or two. Who knows if one of these veterans playing well. And
If,
for your
yeah,
Jets,
yeah,
last one thing. For your Jets, right now, I think you're currently with the 7th overall pick, 8th overall pick, correct?
7th.
7th. I will go with a veteran quarterback. I understand the Aaron Rodgers experiment didn't go as well, but one thing I can honestly say is the first term it didn't work. But we just saw Sammy D lead the Vikings to a 13-win team. Was a game from the division titles. I understand the last 2 games we saw him was that matchup against Detroit, and then the first round matchup. He didn't look well. I understand that. But I think Sammy D is one of the best quarterbacks available right now in the open market before a draft. I say the Jets should give him a shot. To me, honestly, I
He
think
has to prove it. We can't do it. Like you said, I think you outlined it perfectly. He needs to do it, and when the lights shine the brightest, he came up short. Regular season, and is he gonna have Kevin O'Connell? Is he gonna have Justin Jefferson? He's not gonna have that in New York.
well, he has Garrett Wilson. Pretty good.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
good.
a big drop off. I like
know.
Garrett Wilson now.
I know, but it's pretty good. And at the end of the day, we saw Sammy D in moments look pretty damn great. I understand those last 2 games that we saw him weren't
Bad.
pretty. I'm not defending it, but we saw him look pretty damn great for about 12 to 13 weeks. And I think the Jets could use some of that.
Go get Jameis, the Jets. On March 3rd, I know there's a lot could happen within a month, maybe a little month and a half until the draft. Where do you see Aaron Rodgers going? Because he's definitely going to play next year. There's a lot to prove, and I think he has like a year or 2 left.
Yeah, he didn't retire, so that's one thing. Me personally, I'm gonna give the Giants a shot. Like I said, that makes sense. Bring in a veteran, bench the rookie. That makes sense. And name me 5 quarterbacks you want to learn from before Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You see this behind him? I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. I'll sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year. Say what you want about the guy. The guy can spin it. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes somewhere. I know you might think I'm crazy by saying this, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes somewhere like Miami Dolphins, the Raiders. I could see something like that. I'm thinking somewhere we wouldn't think about. Something how like Brady went to Tampa and turned something into nothing. I mean nothing into something.
What
I
if I
think
give
Aaron
you a
Rodgers.
what if I give you a team real quick that's not on anyone's radar that he's from there? Maybe they don't get a deal done with Purdy. Do you think he could go home?
I just don't see the 49ers putting their future on Aaron Rodgers' hands while they have what 26-year-old quarterback who
Yeah, because they
took up
could
to
even if
two.
they don't get a deal done, they still own his rights for this year, and they could pay him the minimum of what they're going to pay him, and then they
They
could
could tag
tag
him.
him. Yeah,
They could tag him. So I don't see why go that route. While you have a guy in your building already that
yeah.
took you to an NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl. Hey, that's just me.
Yeah, I think he goes to the Giants. I think he stays put in the New Jersey, New York area, and then he goes to the
Yeah, he
Giants. I
don't want
think,
to sell
or
that. He don't want to sell that house in Cedar Grove. I'll tell you that.
it's beautiful. Or maybe Cleveland, or Cleveland. I think might go new or young quarterback.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I could see
Yeah.
Cleveland getting like a Kirk Cousins and
I
maybe
think Sam Darnold also, to your point, I think he stays put too. I think
if I'm Minnesota, I'm giving Sammy D a two-year, $80 million deal around there, 85 maybe. Let JJ take your time.
What if
Let's
What if he comes back and he looks amazing, and they're like, "This is why we drafted the kid."
just get on the phone.
Oh, and now you're gonna
Anybody need
trade
a?
him.
No, we trade Sammy D.
Oh, just like Atlanta.
Come on now, you get on the
Okay.
phone. You start making moves. You see the rookies coming up. What I will always say this. Remember what 10 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Remember a guy named Matt Flynn got a nice
Yep.
contract from the from Seattle. They drafted a Russell Wilson, what, third, fourth round.
Fourth round.
He became the starter. You know why? Because he played great. You just don't show your cards. I'm on the phone before I make that announcement. I'm on the phone, Dill. So anything is possible. If JJ's that guy, he looks good, ready to go week 1. I'm on the phone. End of August. Who need a quarterback? Third
I
round
got
pick.
you.
For a deal.
Someone who didn't go for a third round pick. We got the first trade of the 2025 offseason. San Francisco, they agreed to send Debo to the Redskins for a 5th round pick. That is a fleece. Well, obviously it can't be processed until the new year begins next Wednesday, March 12th. But they said it. I think it was during Super Bowl weekend, 49ers and Debo Samuel, they said, listen, you could seek trade offers, you and your agent, you could see what's out there. But I think that if I'm being honest, from an outside perspective, I think the 49ers were kind of planning their season without Debo anyway. They drafted Ricky Purcell last year. They re-signed Brandon Ayuk for 4 years, $120 million. Jawan Jennings, he got a new contract as well. So Washington is going to take his salary as well. He's about to make $17.5 million this season. Now that Samuel's on the move, 1, are you surprised that he did get dealt? And 2, are you surprised the Redskins were the team to get him?
No and no. Just because we saw Debo Samuel have, let's just say, his most down year of his NFL career. I think he only had 1 touchdown. And let's just be honest.
He was big this year, like big.
Let's just say he took the James Harden approach
Yeah,
slightly.
yeah.
So shout out Debo. I think he could still be a pretty good wide receiver, but is he still that elite guy we saw where he was a dual threat during that Super Bowl run? I'm not sure. Is he still able to, take the ball, break a couple tackles, and take it 60 yards? Absolutely. I'm just not sure if he's able to do that at a consistent level anymore. So great move for the Commanders because it's gonna help Jaden Daniels. It's gonna free up Terry McCurry a little bit as well. I think it's also a good move for the 49ers.
Yeah, I
I say
agree.
it's just a 5th round pick in return, but Jawan Jennings just had a breakout year. Let's put that in perspective. You gave Brandon Ayuk a huge contract. He had so much of a down year, but Brandon Ayuk is a little younger. I could depend on him a little more. And Parsley, we saw it after he recovered from that bullet wound. He was a pretty good damn wide receiver.
He was
Even
really
down the
good.
stretch, he had like 140-yard
Yeah.
game. So we saw the potential there, and he honestly outplayed Deebo Samuel the last 8 games of the season. So
George Kittle had a career year. He's going to get paid.
exactly. CMC is going to be fine, and we all know any running back in that offense is going to be pretty successful. So I think the 49ers offense is going to be just fine, and I think Deebo coming to the Washington Commanders is going to be pretty just fine. So I think it's a great move for both teams, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's a win-win. If only for a fifth round, they're taking the rest of his contract as well. It's going to free up Terry McLaurin, giving Jane Daniels another weapon, who Jane Daniels is so special. So I love the combo. Those three are really good.
And
it's going to make both guys better.
Yeah, not for none. It'll be interesting if we'll see a 3 running back set with Deebo, Brian Robinson, and Austin Eckler. All 3 could catch the ball.
Yeah, I think my biggest concern is he just needs to stay healthy and stay in shape. That is the biggest concern I have with Deebo. I do think he's good. What do you say to the people who think he's just a bubble screen guy? Is that a fair criticism?
If he's just a bubble screen guy, you don't watch the game enough. Because we saw this man get the ball hand off multiple times. Remember last year when CMC first went down to injury? Deebo was the running back for about the first 8 plays of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So the man does way more than just bubble screen. I don't see too many receivers lining up, getting the ball handed to him 3-4 straight times, and then catching a bubble screen, breaking 4 tackles, and taking it to the house, and then also getting a punt return as well. So
he definitely does more than just your average wide receiver. I think that's fair to say as well.
Come on now, like I said, the people don't watch the game.
And Rap Sheet did come out the next day and also say the San Francisco's are open to moving Brandon Ayuk as well. We know he suffered that season-ending ACL injury, but he did sign a 4-year, $120 million extension. That would be more surprising than the Deebo one. You could kind of see them moving off of Deebo, kind of getting hurt. The contract was movable. They just kind of wanted to get him off the books. You got to take care of George Kittle. You got to take care of Brock Purdy. This one would actually be surprising.
I think this one is just business. Like I said, before he went out with that injury, we saw him. He didn't show up to camp. He wanted his bag. He got his bag, and he was awful for the first couple of weeks of the season. Let's just be honest. I think this is just a tactic to get him pre-prepared and ready to come in shape and ready to play day one and be the true number 1 receiver for the team because they need him to be. Deebo Samuel's gone. He was the number 1. I know George Kittle had a great season. Jawan Jennings probably led the team in receptions. I understand that. But now, Brandon, you get in the big bucks, you got to be the number 1 guy. So I think this is just, thrown in the air just to throw it out there to put a little pep in his step. Like, oh, yeah, you're thinking about trading me? All right. So I think we might even see Brandon Ayuk's best year so far of his career because I think he's going to come in a little extra motivated knowing he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver now.
Speaking of wide receivers and the Jets, they are now taking calls on Davante Adams. They're open to trading him prior to the start of the league for the league year, which is next Wednesday, like I said. That's a no doubter. I mean, it's $38 million on the cap if they keep him. If they can't get a deal, apparently, they are expected to release him. Probably going to tag along with Aaron Rodgers with whatever team he goes with, which, no surprise, not knocking you for it, but hopefully we could get a 5th, 6th rounder for Davante Adams.
This is the issue, Dill. I don't think you're going to get anything for him because we know what you just said. We're going to release him because we don't want to eat that on the cap. So by April,
$38 million is crazy.
It's crazy. Shout out him for finessing.
No, shout out. He deserved it at the time.
Realistically, come May something, we're gonna see Davante Adams be released. Maybe there's a team out there that's like, you know what, we really need Davante to send the 6th round pick, and maybe y'all get a 6th round pick. But I'm gonna say they're gonna release him because maybe those teams out there don't want to eat that $38 million as well. So release him. They could sign him to more friendlier contract as well, and the Jets don't need to get hit in the cap. So.
Yeah, I agree.
It might suck. You might not get nothing in return, but at the end of the day, I think you just got to clean house and let the new GM and coach build up.
Yeah, I agree. And also on the last point, I just remembered, Adam Peters, the new GM for the Redskins, he also drafted Debo. They have a good connection. He knows what
Mm.
he did come from San Francisco, so he knows what he could bring to the table and that he could help Jaden Daniels. That was another point I liked. And then like you said, literally about a few minutes, we did hint at it a few weeks ago, but it is official. Bengals are placing the $26.2 million franchise tag on T. Higgins. This marks the second straight year that the Bengals have tagged him. T. Higgins, he tweeted out tag, period. But they said, the Bengals came out and said this is not an indication of just tagging him. We're trying to work on a deal to lock him up for a few years in Cincinnati. I think, and everything that I read, from insiders, the market isn't big for T. Higgins because everyone thinks that he's going to stay put and that the Bengals are eventually going to get a deal done with T. Higgins. I don't think they want to let him out of the building.
I wouldn't, Dale. We've seen it. That offense is one of the best offenses all of football last year. And T. Higgins missed the first 4 games of the season, and he also missed another 2 games mid-season. Not taking anything away from Jamar Chase, but if T. Higgins is no longer on this team, his numbers are gonna take a hit.
100%.
They're gonna take a hit. Jamar Chase is a stud. It's probably, if not top 3, top 2, if not the best wide receiver in football. I'm not gonna argue with you about it. But if T. Higgins is no longer on this team, he's gonna get so much more attention. It's gonna be hard. So might as well keep him. And I don't think he's gonna give him a discount. I think you're gonna have to talk to Jamar Chase to possibly get a discount because I think you put him on the franchise tag last year. If I'm Cincinnati, I'm sitting all 3 of them down and be like, look, we want to keep you guys with Joe Burrow. I'm gonna bring Joe Burrow in, see if he wants to take a slight discount. The cap went up. We don't need much. The cap already went up about $20 million, but we need to make this work. We need this NFL sack leader to come back. We need the NFL #1 wide receiver to come back, and then we also need a pretty damn 1A option in T. Higgins, not just for this upcoming year, for the next 3 to 4 years. Because I personally think if these 2 wide receivers stay with Joe Burrow for let's just say 4 more seasons, I give them a good chance to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. I think they got to get something done, and I think they will. I think someone is going to take a cut, whether it's Joe Burrow, whether it's Hendrickson, maybe even Jamar Chase. He says, you know what, I'll take a little less so everyone could eat.
Think about it, if anybody could just, say if everybody wants max 30, 35, 40 a year, everybody takes 5 less. That's T. Higgins.
Yeah,
I agree. Everybody takes 7 left. That's T. Higgins, bread.
I agree. I think they wind up signing him and they find a deal.
Hey, if
for
I'm
him.
Joe Burrow, he can't now because Brady's a part owner. Get on the phone with Brady if you can. Have a dinner, man. Was it worth it taking a discount and not getting paid your value for all those years? Ask him about that.
He has a couple reasons why. And then lastly, Super Bowl champ. It probably never gets tired of hearing that. Darius Slay, he will be released, 6-time Pro Bowler as well. They're going to release him before June 1st, saving about $4.5 million on the cap. That one was a no-brainer as well. He is on the tail end of his career. Still a good cornerback, but they got 2 studs. Let's call it what it is. They got 2 fucking studs. They're trying to get younger. Vic Fangio's defense. So I understand it. He's a good locker room guy, but that's $4.5 million that could go somewhere else.
Yeah, realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if he's going June 2nd for like the veteran minimum. At the end of the day, we know what Darius Slay is at this stage of his career. Yes, he can still go out there and make a couple plays, but he's not a every down back anymore. To me, he's more like a player's coach, third down back if needed. He could probably play safety if needed as well. If I'm a team out there that's a little thin at the cornerback position, maybe like the Lions, that'll be a nice reunion. He was there for a couple years early on in his career. Maybe like a team like Tampa that always deals with cornerback injuries. I think Darius Slay will be a good addition for a team that won't need him as a every down back and also could be a player's coach.
Yeah. We'll see. I do think he could still play in the league, but definitely not
Yeah.
at 4.5 million per year. Okay, let's go to the NBA. Tough news, tough news. We saw this one coming in, but the Sixers are shutting down Joel Embiid for the rest of the year. He missed 39 of 58 games or 59 now, 59 games this season. He's been ruled medically unable to play. He is being shut down. Tough news. At least it was for that MVP. At least he could say he got an MVP.
Yeah. Can't say I'm surprised. I think I came on a couple of weeks ago and said shut it down. It is what it is. This season was a disaster from the get. The only thing that was bright was the rookie McCain, right? McCall.
Yeah, Jared McCain.
Yeah, McCain. He was a bright. You could build off that. Maybe if you want to move on from podcast P, or
No
want to
more
keep
podcasts. He's not
no more.
doing it anymore.
He might now because not look like he's gonna be focusing on championship run. So start building towards next year. I think Joel Embiid's an MVP caliber player. When healthy, let's see if he goes for off-season surgery or not. Paul George, when healthy, we know he could give you anywhere from 18 to 25 a night. Tyrese Maxey's turning into a superstar, in my opinion. So you got some pieces. It's just this season went to shit, and it went to shit fast, surprisingly.
Yeah, tough blow also for the Orlando Magic, a team that, started off the season really hot, then came crashing down. Paulo Banchero got hurt. Franz Wagner got hurt. Then his brother got hurt. They did come back, but now guard Jalen Suggs, he's out indefinitely. He is undergoing arthroscopic surgery to remove a cartilage fragment in his left knee. He did return, and then he experienced discomfort. He let the team know. They ran some tests. Now he needs surgery. He is expected to make a full recovery, but that's another tough blow. They've been riddled with injuries this season, Orlando.
Yeah, that's a tough one. This is another team. We saw him even, make the playoffs last year. The potential was there. It's just a lot of injuries. Hey, this is one team. Come this all season, I understand the season's not over, but if I'm the Orlando Magic, I'm making a pursuit at Kevin Durant. I'm making a pursuit at one of these superstars out there because I honestly think the Magic might just be a player away.
All right, that was the NBA, and like I said, we do have MLB news. President Trump, he did say on Friday that he is going to try to make a complete pardon for Pete Rose to be called in the Hall of Fame, all-time hit leader. He was banned in 1989. He did plead guilty to tax evasion charges in 1990. He served 5 months in the slammer. The lifetime ban has kept him out of the Hall of Fame, but MLB is considering removing him from the ineligibility list. And if Rod Manfred, the commissioner, approves this, it would clear a way for him to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, say what you want about Pete Rose. Baseball player Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. You can't tell the story of baseball without Pete Rose. That's just a fact.
Pete Rose is one of the greatest hitters of all time. I understand what he did, and I'm not justifying it, but you can't take away what he did on the field. So, arguably the greatest hitter of all time. So I agree with Trump. They should pardon him. He should be a Hall of Famer at the very least.
Yeah. It'd be a shame if he doesn't get if they don't do it. And then last thing, I'm gonna read you 4 stats, and you got to name me this player. You are Dominican. He just got announced as the Dominican Republic squad manager for the World Baseball Classic that is coming up. 703 career home runs, 3-time MVP.
Albert Pujols.
Yes. Albert Pujols, man. Shout out him. Absolute fucking legend. 703 home runs, 3-time World Series champ, 3-time MVP, 11-time All-Star. I'm happy for Pujols, man. He deserves this.
Mm-hmm. He's a legend, one of the greatest first basemen of all time. Angel, great.
Did you know this, or did you know it?
Soon you said 703.
Okay, damn. I should have started with 11-time All-Star.
Yeah, 11-time. You should have started with 11-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champ. You should have said a lot of things. Soon you said
before 703, right?
Yeah, you should. 703 got it out.
But he's a legend.
Yeah, it's only one player who only has 703.
And I mean, if you're playing for Team Dominican Republic, this World Baseball Classic coming up into 2026, there's going to be a lot of young Dominicans that really want to learn from an absolute legend, first ballot Hall of Famer in Albert Pujols. So I was happy, and it's just as like we're old because I remember Albert Pujols like in his prime.
I remember playing MVP baseball 2005.
That's the best one.
Yeah,
that's the
Manny
best
Ramirez.
one. Manny Ramirez on it. Yeah,
I still have my PlayStation 2.
You know who I used to play with? The White Sox. The Jim Thome. They were nice that year.
And the catcher, Przinsky.
AJ Przinsky. He is so smart. He's an analyst now.
Yeah?
Not an analyst. I think he's a commentator, but he's so fucking smart.
Yeah. You know what team I played with too? The Phillies. Remember Jimmy Rollins?
I can never do that, but yeah.
I know.
I feel you. There, but I can never do it.
In that game, I think Blue Jays had Roy Halladay too.
R.I.P.
Legend.
R.I.P. Roy. Man, there were
we got side note.
We got side note, but tell me how many legends we grew up with.
You know how old heads always be like, back in my day. Now
we saying it.
Now I see why, because you're not about to tell me anybody now is better than Randy, or at least more excited than Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, any of those guys.
Andy Pettitte, I hated him, but Andy Pettitte's a legend.
I hated Mike Messina. I hated Mariano. Legend.
We grew up with the best closer ever.
Yeah, honestly, realistically.
I know that's hard for you to say as a Red Sox fan, but it is what it is.
At the end of the day, we won a World Series. We won a couple.
Yeah. So hey, I'm trying to. But all right, kid, that's all the news I got for you this week. By the way, real quick before you saw Tank's fight? Should have lost. You got robbed.
I didn't watch it. I'm gonna watch it back. Honestly, I fell asleep.
Frank LaRoche, he got robbed, bro. The guy took a knee and they didn't take a point. You gotta watch it, but it's insane.
That's crazy.
Anyway, before we get to our picks, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks. So just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or a new flavor, coconut, watching the NBA, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. I believe here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. We'll start in the association. Like I said, we got 7 games here on a Monday. We got 9 games for Tuesday, but I'll let you lead it off. I got a couple plays, so whenever you get to that game, I'll just jump in and let you know my plays.
Yeah, I have a few plays. A couple teams I like. I'll just say I like. Golden State, but I wouldn't advise laying the 13. Detroit as well. Like, I love Detroit, but to lay 11 on the road, this is another 13 on the road with Golden State. I also like the +10 with Houston.
I was just going to say that might be too many. I had that in my notes. I said Rockets +10 and Hornets 13.5 is crazy. I know it's the Hornets, but
it's the Hornets, but those are a lot of points, people.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I wouldn't advise. If anything, I'll lean the +10. But OKC's just hot. It's just horse, to be honest. So I got a few plays for today. First play, I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna start off my two-way teaser, and I'm gonna give you the dog and my favorite play of the day. Two-way teaser. I'm gonna tease Memphis down to a pick'em, and then Detroit Pistons down to a -3. That's my two-way 6-point teaser at -134. Well, basically Memphis will be at 2.5 now because its spread jumped to 8.5. I think Memphis takes care of business, and I also think Detroit takes care of business. I'm just not cool with laying those big numbers, especially on a Monday, people. And then my favorite bet of today, people. I caught the number early, the +3.5. Portland Trailblazers taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers are a bad team. The only reason they won the other night, give credit, they did beat Golden State. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Quentin Grimes, Nick Great, went for 44, 18 for 24 from the field. What happened?
Nah, I just don't fuck with him.
Oh, I thought you was about to say something.
No, I just don't fuck with him. But
he's a Nick Great, right?
Relax. We're not about to start using the word great now. All right, relax. Melo is a great. Right. Karl Anthony Towns, great. Jalen Brunson, great.
Yeah.
Come on now. I know
All
you're trying to get me mad real
All
quick.
right. I apologize. But like I said, Quentin Grimes shot 6 or 9 for the 3-point line, 18 for 24 from the field. He ain't doing that tonight. He might not, I'm not going to say he might not do it ever again, but he's not doing that this week. I can almost guarantee that. He ain't doing that. Give me Portland, man. Winners 4 of the last 5. They've been rolling. Philly, I think, lost 8 straight games prior to that game. Once again, Quentin Grimes went for 44. Give me Portland plus 3.5, plus 3, plus 2.5, whatever the number is at. Give me a sprinkle on the money line. Me personally, I took it plus 140 this morning. I still love it at plus 120. Give me Portland, dog of the day. I also have one more play for you guys. Nice little matchup. Sacramento Kings taking on the Dallas Mavericks. To me, numbers too high. Over under sitting at 232.5, 231.5. Shop around. I think both of these teams are pretty good defensively, in my opinion. If Kyrie doesn't have a crazy game or Clay doesn't hit about 6, 7, 8 threes, I don't see Dallas putting up a ton of points. And I don't see Sacramento putting up a ton of points. You know, they slowed down their offense. DeAndre Fox, no longer the point guard there. Their offense slowed down just a little bit. I think it's too many points. Give me the under 232.5.
Real quick, I am going to go back to that Golden State Charlotte game. Like I said, 13.5 is crazy, but give me a LaMelo Ball over 6.5 assists. You can get that at plus money, plus 115 as well. You only had 3 assists against the Wizards on Saturday, but I feel like it's hard to react going over that one. He's averaging 7 assists per game on the season, 12 and a half potential assists, and 8.6 adjusted assists per game. So, you know, taking him, I think is a good play, especially at plus money. I know Golden State team, they look good defensively, but Ball's going to have to play fast, look at his teammates for easy buckets. 6.5 seems like a very doable number at plus 115. Remember this name, Dante Exum. Do you remember him?
Yeah. He was on the Mavericks.
Bro, still is. Give me over 2.5 assists at minus 130. Donovan, you know, we got in foul trouble the other night.
Got it.
He still is, baby. He got in foul trouble the other night on the Bucks, against the Bucks on Saturday, but he racked up at least 3 assists in 9 of his last 10 games in February. Minus 130, that's a very doable price, Don. It's my Australian, Dante Exum. I remember when he got drafted, top 10? People thought he was the next
Ben Simmons.
Dante Exum. We make jokes, but yeah, Dante Exum minus over 2.5. Yeah, he's still in the league. And like I said, I do think Rockets plus 10. Will I think they lose? Probably. Yeah. But I don't think they'll get blown out.
Yeah. I think they'll be competitive. I say they lose by 7, 8, maybe 9. I might take the plus 10. If anything, put them in a teaser, man. Tease Charlotte up to 19 and Houston up to 16. That sounds good.
There are 4 lines up for tomorrow as well. We got Raptors Magic, Knicks hosting the Warriors. Warriors on a back-to-back. Knicks laying 4. Seems like an easy number. By the way, what's good with Jimmy Butler not paying rent? Like, you got all that money. Like, just pay your rent. Like, why is it a thing? It's weird to me. I'm sorry.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
You always do.
I'm going to say he fired his assistant, and then he forgot to tell his new assistant, yo, you got to pay these bills too, my boy. So I'm going to say he never had that conversation with his new.
They're suing him. They're taking him to court over $500,000 altogether. I think there's damage to the apartment and also not paying rent. I think altogether it's like 500 and some change, which for me and you is a lot, but for him it's nothing.
Exactly.
That's my thing. Like, if it's nothing, you just got $40 million. Golden State just gave you $40 million. Just pay the money.
Yeah. And if you can, I'm accepting donations.
Me too.
Well.
Venmo.
You know, we trying to get it how we live, Jimmy.
But
and you're himmy, so
allegedly. Any plays for Tuesday for you? There are some lines up.
We do also.
Yeah. So Raptors, they are 6.5-point dogs on the road against the Magic. Knicks, they're 4-point favorites at home against the Warriors. Bucks, they're laying 5 on the road against the Hawks. And then the Cavs, they're laying 14 against the Bulls. That's huge.
Yeah, I'll probably take the 14 with the Bulls. I might lay the 5 with the Bucks just because Atlanta plays tonight. That's a tough back-to-back. Playing the Bucks tomorrow as well. And then depending on those legs, if Charlotte covers, give me the Knicks plus the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're laying 4.
Yeah, we're laying 4.
Mm.
Come on now, at the Mecca.
If the Hornets cover, give me the -4 with the Knicks. I don't know if Steph Curry could go back to back. Jimmy can. I don't know if Steph willing to go back to back now.
He did have a good game the other day. Yeah, it is.
Hey, that's what he broke. He got 3,000 threes. Yeah, he might give y'all 4.
He might give. It don't matter with a L. By the way, did you see that Cavs Boston game the other day? I think it was. Yeah.
I took the plus 3.5.
What was Jason Tatum doing? He's saying it was over in the first quarter. Here come Donovan Mitchell. Yo, they're elite, bro. First team to win 50 games this season. I got to give them credit. I know I always say they're a regular season team, but they might look legit this year.
I forgot the head coach name, but I think he has to be the front runner for the coach of the year. At first, when they signed him, I was like,
Kenny Atkins, your boy.
Yeah, I always forget. Kenny Atkins.
Kenny Atkins. That's your boy. Brooklyn. Legend.
Yeah, great move there. Great move.
This is his first year as a head coach, too.
That's what I'm saying, Dill. That's pretty impressive, man. If he's able to, I'm not saying, if he's able to bring this team
conference
finals, if they're able to go 7 games with Boston or the Knicks or the Bucks, that's, to me.
Is Donovan Mitchell a top 10 player in the NBA? This year, maybe.
All right. This year, yeah.
Maybe. He's playing like it.
Is Evan Mobley, Jared Allen playing like defense? Like Evan Mobley's playing like the defensive player of the year? Yeah. So those two guys been outstanding this year. I can't deny. They have been. Can't deny it.
Are they the best duo in the league?
Oh, come on. Realistically,
okay, outside of LeBron and Luka now, but
they're what, 8-1 since together, right?
I know. Okay, outside of them, they gotta be, kid. They're not the star names, but they're double machines.
I'm gonna give it to Tatum and Jaylen Brown first.
Oh, let me rephrase it. Best big man duo. Not like guard duos or anything, just like big man duos.
I know you might disagree.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Dame and Giannis.
No, like best big duos, like the 3 and the 4.
Jared Allen and Evan Mobley?
Yes.
I'm going to go with a healthy Chet and Harvenstein.
What I was throwing out, what about before he got maybe a Giannis Brook Lopez
or Aaron Gordon Joker? I know Aaron Gordon, but hey, he'll give you 20 one night. He'll give you 20
one night.
He'll give you 20. He'll give you 20 in a game 3.
Yeah, he would. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was a fun exercise because I was looking at him last night. After they came back and won, I was like, yo.
I like them. I know they're not let's just say a household favorite, but don't sleep on Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, I had that one in the back of my head too. And before they got traded, LeBron and AD were crazy.
Yeah.
They were.
Hey, and we got to see how Lively in AD, maybe Gafford in AD, because we saw how.
They just got to stay healthy.
Yeah, they got to stay healthy.
All right, kid, thank you for that. Let me go to the college real quick. Like I said, conference tournaments have started, and this Sunday, I think, is Selection Sunday. So we're just inching closer and closer to March Madness. I cannot wait. 27 games on the slate for tonight. I told you, I think it was last week, I've been ice cold. I think I went 1-7 on Saturday. I just could not see the board. I would lay the 3.5. They would win by 3. It is terrible. But last night, 3-2. Should have went 4-1. They didn't cover by the hook. But we'll see. We're back at it again today. We're shoot or shoot. Let me get Bethlehem Cook at home against Graham State, laying the 3.5. Might as well take the plus 3.5 at this point, the way I am right now. Houston Catholic against Eastern Tennessee A&M -1.5. These schools are just like the lower tier. And then I got Incarnate Ward. Yeah, the edge of D1. Incarnate Ward plus 2.5 on the road as well. So those are my 3 plays. Have not been good. Transparency is key. So yeah, have not been good for college basketball. But we're just inching closer and closer to March Madness. And then once all these games start coming, that's when I'm going to start rolling, kid. I can feel it. All right, kid, let's go to the NHL. We are Ovechkin, 11 goals away from breaking the great one, Wayne Gretzky's record. He's going to do it this year. I mean, and if he didn't get hurt, he might have already done it. I mean, it's crazy. I know you really don't watch the NHL, but when he scores, him going up to the glass and fist bumping his son, I get chills because that's fucking amazing. You and I grew up. They got drafted together, Sid the Kid and Ovechkin, and now he might break. Now he is going to break it, but if he does it against Pittsburgh, that's amazing. They are on the road tonight. They are favorites. I hear you got some plays for us, kid. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm laying some chalk. I hit up Cuddy.
Okay.
For the people listening, I hit up Cuddy.
Yep.
So we got some inside information. That's inside information, but we're laying chalk.
Oh.
I know Cuddy. He told me to parlay it.
Oh.
I'm not telling y'all to parlay it. I'm just telling you what I was told. First game, we got Washington Capitals taking on the Ottawa. What is it?
Senators.
See, I gotta catch up with hockey. Washington has lost 3 straight, but like you said, Ovechkin got that eye on his prize. Ovechkin, he beat bands to make a dance.
Yeah, that legend is. That video is so
bands
funny.
to make a dance. And I think that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see some bands to make a dance. Give me the Washington Capitals -148 on the money line. Like I said, Cuddy said we laying chalk. He told me to parlay it. I'm just telling you what he told me. Next game, the Battle of Florida. Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Florida Panthers. By the way, Cuddy lives in Florida, people.
Yeah?
So he might know something. I'm not a legend. He knows anything. Tampa Bay's on fire. Can't lie. Tampa Bay's pretty damn great. Panthers are pretty damn great too, Dale. Like I said, we laying chalk here. Give me the -155 on the money line with the Florida Panthers. I'm going to let it ride. Give me a little something on the parlay as well.
Oh, I love that. Shout out Cuddy as well.
Shout out Cuddy.
Yeah, Caps are home. They, like you said, they are riding a 3-game losing streak. They've lost all 3 in regulation. They're due. They're at home against Ottawa. Ottawa coming off a 5-3 win against the Sharks. Sharks are in rebuild, obviously, but they have scored 4 times in the first period as well. So I like the first period over 1.5 goals. I like the full game, Ottawa and the Capitals over 5.5 at -120. Give me Ovechkin anytime goal scorer at +110. Give me Ovechkin over 3.5 shots on goal at -113, over 4.5 shots on goal at +200 as well. And I'm also going to go Ottawa team total over 2.5 as well. The over's just been very profitable for Ottawa as well. Both the first period over 1.5 goals and full game over has cashed in 8 of the last 10 Washington games. Ottawa has gone over the full game in 8 of their last 9 games as well. So defense is very questionable for both teams right now. So we're going to take a lot of goals, and Ovechkin, I'm going to take him every time to score a goal until he breaks it. And then next game, 7:30 in Toronto. Maple Leafs hosting the San Jose Sharks. Give me Sharks. First period goal at -110. And I'm also going to take first period both teams to score at +162 as well. The Sharks, they've scored a first period goal in 10 of the last 13 games, so I do think they get on the board as well. And the Leafs, they've given up a first period goal in 4 straight games, 16 of their last 20 overall. So I think both teams are going to get on the board early. I like the over in that game as well. Sharks see a lot of overs as well. So boys and girls, that is all we got, kid. Any last words before we get up out of here, kid? We're inching closer and closer to UFL and baseball. Baseball in 2 weeks.
UFL. Can't wait. MLB, Red Sox over. I'm telling you, put it in right now. Dill, I want to end it by saying
okay.
It was a little breaking news right before the show started, I think. Or during the show. Jimmy Johnson announced his retirement from Fox Sports. So shout out Jimmy Johnson off and off the field, on and off the field. He had one of the most emotional, let's just say, pep talks during the Cowboys and Packers game during halftime.
He was livid.
He was livid. He wanted to go in that locker room and say a few words. If you haven't watched the clip, go back and watch it now. He was he was intimate. He was intense. He was
Yeah.
pissed off as a Cowboy legend, as he should be. But shout out Jimmy Johnson, on and off the field legend.
Absolute legend. And, I'm happy for him. Now he could go home with his wife, who probably has dealt with a lot. Shout out his wife, who's probably dealt with a lot, not with just coaching, broadcasting career afterwards, but he's done everything for this game. You can't we were saying with the Pete Rose, you can't tell baseball without Pete Rose. You cannot tell the story, especially Cowboys history, without Jimmy Johnson.
Cowboys?
So happy for him. He's probably going to go relax, go on a vacation for a few months. You deserve it. But kid, that is going to do it. Good luck on everything.